Breaking news, Lee County deputies swarm a North Fort Myers neighborhood. We'll take you there live next.
Plus, a decision to move a vital pump in Lee County is now being delayed. Next at noon, we'll explain why commissioners need more time to decide.
And with major summer holidays around the corner, we're going to see some changes on the waterways. We'll tell you what they are next. Breaking news at noon, a bomb squad, the FBI and ATF are in the North Fort Myers neighborhood right now, and fire crews are preparing to take people out of a home and hose them down. Thank you for counting on Gulf Coast News. I'm Kelly Burns.
And I'm Zuri Hoffman. This is happening along Harbor Drive in North Fort Myers near the Edison Bridge. Gulf Coast News reporter Elise Chingari is live at the scene right now. Elise, what are you able to tell us?
We're here on Harbor Drive, and it is quite the scene. We've seen the FBI here. There are drones in the sky. We've even been told to prepare ourselves to back up because people are going to be brought out and they're going to be hosed down. Now, we've been working with the ATF in Tampa. I've been asking what exactly is going on here. They tell us there's some kind of materials in the area. Some people have told me there's a bomb. They said they can't confirm that. They say the community is safe at this time. But let us show you exactly what we're seeing here. Again, the FBI is here. You can see from the distance there are those firefighters. They just got all geared up. You can see that they have those oxygen tanks. They even have masks that they recently put on their face. They're standing by the fire truck. Now, a neighbor did come by. He says that there's really not many neighbors in this area, that it was flooded so bad from the last hurricane. He says there is a duplex in the area that was recently redone, and he said that's where he has seen a lot of the deputies, the firefighters. They have been surrounding that area. Now, the ATF in Tampa, they confirm with us that there has been what they're calling witnesses here on scene that they are currently investigating. I know there was quite the scene in Fort Myers yesterday that Gulf Coast News was at. I asked if these two scenes could be related. I'm told they could possibly be related. I'm told that they have been investigating a scene in Fort Myers as well as North Fort Myers, and they're trying to see if the scenes are related, but that they are questioning witnesses in this area at this time. Another neighbor tells me that they have seen these crews here since last night when deputies arrived. I've been speaking with Lee County Sheriff's Office to try to get more information. They have deferred us to the ATF. But again, the ATF tells us that bomb experts are here on scene. They tell us they will be bringing people out here shortly. Again, we see that there's buckets that are in the area, and they tell us that this is the area that they are going to use when they bring people out. So they told us just to be careful that we could get quite wet, so we might want to back up when they come out here. But again, Fort Myers Fire Department, their fire truck is on scene. Lee County deputies are here. A lot of men with FBI shirts are walking around, and then we know that bomb experts are here. So we're told the community is safe at this time. But again, we're along Harbor Drive here and Lavin Lane. It's a dead end on both ways, but they're asking people to obviously avoid this area. Some neighbors, they've been going around on bicycles here, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what they're investigating. We're trying to piece this together. They say they're working with a scene in Fort Myers. We know that we have another Gulf Coast News crew that is in that area. So we're just waiting back from the ATF for them to confirm. They say they will be here for quite a while. Again, they say bomb experts are here, and they say there's some kind of materials in the area. But again, we are working back and forth with them to try to get more information to relate to you. They say the community is safe at this time. Stay with us here at Gulf Coast News as we continue to update you on this breaking news scene here in North Fort Myers. Live in North Fort Myers, Elise Chingari, Gulf Coast News.
Charlotte County deputies arrested a man for shooting at two door-to-door salesmen as they were leaving his property. Deputies arrested this guy, William Williams. A woman told the solar panel salesman to leave the property, and as they did, Williams allegedly fired the shots but missed. No one was injured. This happened along Boa Badilla Lane in Port Charlotte. Deputies searched Williams' home and arrested him.
Lee County commissioners are delaying a vote until next month on whether or not to move the Moss Marina booster pump. The town is looking at ways to better protect Fort Myers Beach from flooding. The pump keeps water flowing around the town.
Gulf Coast News reporter Mercedes Martinez is in Fort Myers explaining this next step now that the vote is delayed.
Lee County leaders are wanting to move the Moss Marina booster pump station further inland to the north side of the Matanzas Pass Bridge, since right now it sits on the path of potential flooding. Today, the Lee County Board of Commissioners decided to hold off on making a vote. Right now, the booster pump station sits on the town side of the Matanzas Bridge. This piece of infrastructure plays a critical role keeping water flowing properly throughout the town of Fort Myers Beach. Lee County Commissioners are considering to move it further to protect and harden it against future storm surge and flooding. It's part of a long-term disaster recovery effort funded by federal grant money aimed at building stronger and smarter. The total cost of this project is a little over $1.7 million. Lee County Board of Commissioners say they'll vote on this at their next board meeting June 3rd. Reporting on Fort Myers Beach, Mercedes Martinez, Gulf Coast News.
Also on Fort Myers Beach, we are now learning that the town is in contact with FEMA about having their audit in the next couple of months as they begin to move off probation. FEMA removed Fort Myers Beach from probation after they were found to have allowed unpermitted work to take place after Hurricane Ian. Being placed on probation meant residents and businesses were going without their 25% flood insurance discounts. Once FEMA does an audit, homeowners and business owners could see their 25% discount return next April.
Gulf Coast News looking for more information about that suspicious device that forced families to evacuate their homes in Fort Myers yesterday. Elise Shangari mentioned this during her live report. It might be linked to that scene. Local, state, and federal law enforcement, including the bomb squad, investigating a home on Palm Tree Lane. This was breaking news during these broadcasts yesterday evening. Nearby Prospect Avenue and Tuscaloosa Street were also blocked up. Police kept families away from their homes up until the late evening. As early as 11 p.m. last night, they spent hours waiting to go back.
I saw the officers running. I saw through my camera on my garage, and that's when I was really excited. Called the 911, and they said, "Hey, there is something happening in your neighborhoods."
You could hear them from a distance, and they just all swarmed in. Both streets taped off both sides of the street. Saw a few people flee the house. A couple walked up into the neighbor's driveway, but other than that, don't know anything.
We know one man is in custody. We're working to find out more about him and the suspicious device.
From your Charlotte County News team, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is holding a law enforcement memorial tonight, remembering those who have fallen in the line of duty. Among those who will be remembered include Sergeant Elio Diaz, who was killed in the line of duty over the winter while responding to a traffic stop. The memorial is happening today from 6 to 7 p.m. at the William R. Gaines Jr. Veterans Memorial Park in Port Charlotte. Well, the city of Fort Myers is looking at possibly turning the city of Palms Park into a multi-use amateur sports complex. The city struck out on a deal to turn the baseball stadium into a soccer stadium. The announcement comes after more than a year of planning by the United Soccer League. The USL says there just aren't enough soccer fans to make it financially viable. One city council member says it may be time to tear down the 32-year-old ballpark.
We go ahead, tear it down. We have the land, and we can repurpose it with multi-use for apartments, green space, and that type of thing. And that's our midtown, and I think we need to be very strategic on what we place there.
Well, the multi-use amateur sports complex could also house cultural events. The plans will likely be discussed when council meets in June.
Governor DeSantis signed a bill into law limiting government interference on our waterways. The Boaters Freedom Act prohibits law enforcement from stopping boaters randomly without probable cause. Gulf Coast News reporter Kennedy Mason gets reaction from boat dealers.
The Florida Boaters Freedom Act allows boaters to have whatever kind of boat they want, whether that's gas or electric. Local governments have regulated this, but Governor DeSantis said he would stop that.
And I think they talked about was not allowing gas vehicles in certain types of water. They're trying to only allow electric, but either you can restrict boating or not, but you can't eliminate one type of boating from an area.
Jack Buck with Boaters Landing is a boat salesman. He's looking forward to local government not being able to stop people from using gas-powered boats.
If you want to buy an electric boat, I mean, I don't think you should be prohibited for it, but you certainly shouldn't be required to do that.
The state of Florida will continue maintaining the protection of wake speeds, manatee zones, and seagrass areas. Through this bill signed into law yesterday, Governor Ron DeSantis says law enforcement will now approach you differently when out on the water.
A current law allows both state and local law enforcement to pull a boater over when no probable cause or suspected violation has occurred and to conduct inspections.
Now they have to have probable cause to search your boat, something Buck thinks will help everyone out on the water.
Is it any different than them coming into your home? Is it any different than pulling you over on the road? Don't they have to have probable cause? So sincerely, why should the waters be any different? Because if you're not doing anything wrong, they shouldn't be able to just stop you.
Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will work with tax collectors to provide a Florida Freedom boater decal at registration. It will show law enforcement that you have taken the necessary steps to maintain proper safety requirements. DeSantis also signed legislation that will invest in more boat ramps, marina programs, and parking. This law goes into effect this summer on July 1st. In Cape Coral, Kennedy Mason, Gulf Coast News.
From your Cape Coral News team, researchers from across Florida and the Gulf Coast are looking for volunteers as they study the effects of harmful algae blooms in Cape Coral. FGCU, UCF, and FAU are all working on this study. If you want to participate, there are sessions happening today and tomorrow at the Public Works Department along Nicholas Parkway. The times are listed on your screen here. You can find registration information on our Gulf Coast News app. Up next, seaweed is a very common sight near the beach. Next at noon, why an overwhelming amount of it could actually serve a bigger benefit to Florida.
And hurricane season is quickly approaching, just 12 days away. I'll show you where development is most likely as we head into June.